All right. All right. All right, guys. So welcome to the call tonight. We're so excited to have so many of you here. You can see, like, I have Permagrin. I've had it for the past couple of weeks. Just the number of professionals coming in to take a look at this beloved industry. Christine and I's main objective tonight is to really just enlighten you to think differently, enlighten you on an industry that we have fallen in love with. Why? Two professionals, both pharmacists, one from corporate, one from the hospital, who have pursued this business with zeal. We want to cast a vision to you tonight. One of the things that I want you to keep in mind is that we would not have this incredible business and business model if it wasn't for the state-of-the-art products that back up this company. But I want you to know that tonight is very much a business overview. I don't want that to overlook the value and the impact of the products. We have a product overview tomorrow night. So if the business model intrigues you, but you want to learn more about the products because you're a pharmacist like we are, then you're going to want to jump on tomorrow night and hear more about the science, because that call is for tomorrow night. So I just want to ensure that we would not be a business without the credibility and the quality of the product that we put in our mouths and promote. Having said that, tonight I have an amazing guest speaker. Let me just kind of walk you guys through what we're going to be talking about tonight and what to expect. I've got a guest speaker with me, Dr. Christine Manukyan, and she is on my Isagenix team, one of my business partners, and you're going to hear from her and her journey as well, going from PharmD that was burnt out and unhealthy, like many of us who put our careers first, and how she transitioned from being that burnt out mother professional to ultimately a fitness bikini model professional to an outright entrepreneur, launching her own functional medicine practice as well as running her side hustle with Isagenix and building that secondary income stream in e-commerce, and how that's allowing her the opportunity to break free into this functional medicine practice. So tonight just is kind of the flow of what we're going to discuss, and Christine will be kind of popping in and out. Of course, I'll give you a little bit about my background, and then we're going to walk through the business of the 21st century. That's what we titled this presentation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start very broad, and I want you to come to this with an extremely open mind. And we're going to drill down from the business of the 21st century to specifically network marketing. Yes, network marketing. And then specifically Isagenix, right? And why Isagenix. And Christine is going to jump in and really share her story and really validate that I'm not crazy, and nor are you and the other 70 people that are on the line, or how many of you are here tonight. And then we're going to dive into the business model. So hang on for the latter part of the presentation, because some of you are wondering, well, how did Melissa retire from corporate America? How was she able to match her income? So we're going to get all Robert Kiyosaki on you. We're going to talk about cash flow, and we're going to challenge you to think differently than how you're thinking today about how you're earning an income. And then Christine's really going to tie a bow on it and share with us, her vision and what she's doing with where she's going in the direction with this company and her side business that's becoming her main business, right? And then we'll close out. I would suggest that you hold your questions for the follow-up with the person who brought you to this call. We have a lot of different teammates who've brought different potential business partners to the line tonight. They think for some reason that you would be intrigued by this, that maybe you would crush this if you were willing to think differently. So make sure you circle back to them at the end of this overview so that they can address your questions, and feel free to jump back on tomorrow to get really geeked out about the science as I get into the weeds of ashwagandha tomorrow night. Right? So without further ado, I am going to share my screen and pull up my slides. Go. Hang on a second. That didn't do it. Hang on one second. I want you guys to actually want to blow this up so you can see it completely. So hang on a second. Of course, now my slides disappear, Christine. Hang on a second. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So so I've already kind of told you guys who's speaking to you tonight. And so let me start with my own quick story. My name is Melissa Henault. I'm your tour guide tonight. I was a corporate burnout. Can any of you relate to the girl in the pink in the center there? I was putting my career first and slowly losing my energy, my health, and gaining unwanted toxic fat. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. That's not for tonight. But the long and the short of it is I was not showing up as the best version of myself. I was putting my career first. And I got to a point, to that woman in the pink dress, where I was a medical director in the pharmaceutical industry. If any of you are familiar with that industry, I was a medical science liaison director. It's just a fancy term for being kind of a scientist in corporate. And I was traveling on planes, trains, and automobiles. I was gone all the time, didn't see my kids. Someone else was raising them. And I was getting unhealthy over time, even though I'd always been really health conscious. Skeptically, like some of you tonight, I actually leaned into trying some products because I'd heard some really great science behind some nutrition that was going to be convenient and on the go for someone who was living the extremely fast-paced life that I was. Many of you are as well. Put the products in my body, and from the pink dress to the green dress was about 6 months into my Isagenix journey. What's interesting is that there's only a 5-pound weight difference, but I am a completely new person. Again, we'll get into the science behind all of that tomorrow, but I showed up energetically better, was sleeping better, clearly had better lean muscle mass, was aging backwards, right? And that's when I decided, I had been contributing a ton of time and effort to corporate America and had climbed Mount Everest to realize that I had gotten to the pinnacle of my career and it wasn't satisfying me. I had defined myself in a way that I had turned around and looked and decided this is not how I want to define myself. I've climbed this career track into this role where I never see my kids. I have a ton of financial success. I had a multiple 6-figure income. I don't say that to brag. It was just my reality, right? But I didn't have the time with my kids. And I wanted a way out, but I was over $100,000 in college loan debt. What I did know was that I had put some nutrition in my body that made me feel amazing. I did know that I was a healthcare provider that could really get behind these products. And I had incredible mentorship that encouraged me to share and build this business in the pockets of my time. And so that's what I did. And guys, I'm here to tell you that 3 years into my journey over there to the right, in that Aloha Top Achievers hat, because I got to go to Hawaii on Isagenix, I fired my boss in corporate America. I chose to walk away from a multiple 6-figure career to pursue this business part-time with full-time pay as an online professional entrepreneur. And I have never looked back. I have chosen time freedom and autonomy in an industry I have fallen in love with. And I think Christine and I share the same emotions that we want more professionals to know about this industry. We want more professionals to feel the freedom when you create a secondary income stream that matches and exceeds your 9 to 5, that controls your time and your life, how freeing that is and what you can do to give back when you have more time. So with that being said, people are working differently, are we not? How many of you, love to hear it in the chat box, how has your career changed in the past 2 months, right? How are you working differently right now versus pre-COVID? An interesting article that was just posted yesterday or the day before, I had to pull it into the slides. And that was from Forbes, that had the reflection that, on the future of work and how there's not going to be going back to the old office. Some companies like Shopify aren't opening back up till 2021. What seems clear, quote, is that for huge swaths of the population, the nature of work and teamwork has changed, and there's little chance of going back. I want you guys to think about that. One of the things that I thought about when I read this article because it was really interesting as they mentioned that, people no longer, many swaths of people are not going to have these massive commutes. We're not going to be spending hours getting ready in the morning because we're only going to have to dress from like the waist up, right? People are have more time in life. I've had many conversations with people who are already gigging on the side. I've got cousins who are day trading, even though they're financial advisors, right? I've got friends doing all kinds of gigs because of the time they have at home. The second thing is job security. I want this to, some of you are probably on the line only today and probably wouldn't have been 3 months ago because of job security. It's the first time in your career that you're wondering, is your job going to be around? Maybe you've already been furloughed, right? Maybe your hours have already been cut. I know for me, I was skeptical at looking at this business model until I saw that our company was making huge consolidations. And I thought maybe there's another way. So secondly, I just want another Forbes statement is there's no downside to a side hustle. There really isn't. There's only benefits to building out more than one income stream. And you'll hear from Christine and myself that we have multiple income streams and how we built this, not having all your eggs in one basket. So guys, future is changing. The largest transportation company doesn't own a vehicle. It's Uber. And right now they're not even delivering people. They're delivering food, right? The largest hotel company doesn't own a hotel. Think about Airbnb, right? The fastest growing trend to shop is not getting in your car. How many of you, with the raise of hands, I can see you, like lurk at the front doorstep for that Amazon box, right? That's coming because of all the crap we're all ordering right now. We're ordering everything online, everything, right? Now, imagine this. Think about all the high quality or mediocre quality health and wellness products that you're consuming right now, right? And imagine if you could get them all in one store virtually, knowing that they were super high quality and that you could start a franchise with those products. We're going to talk about this in a bit, but how your consumption of those products, redirected spend, becomes your online franchise in health and wellness, all from your phone. And I don't mean to belittle the industry, but the reality is I've built a 6-figure business with my phone in hotels and airports. Guys, it doesn't get simpler than this. And we're going to talk a little bit about this tonight. The economy is evolving. I already really talked about the whole gigging thing that's going on, but even how people are doing it virtually. Technology is showing us that we can do things differently. And Christine's probably going to talk a little bit about this tonight and her virtual business that she's launching. But the reality is people are finding ways to make an income from home using the internet. But here's the thing, and I want to pause for a second and I want to ask you, maybe you're already gigging. Maybe you're selling on Amazon. Maybe you're consulting. Maybe you're coaching. I have a coaching business, right? But here's the thing. In all of those businesses, those people are trading time for money, right? What I'm going to share with you tonight is the industry where we remove the trading time for money and we talk about a completely different business model where we leverage each other in the industry that I and Christine belovedly love, called network marketing. So here's the thing. Network marketing has come of age, guys. If you're like me, I was kind of snooty about this industry. I had my nose turned up. All I thought about when people pitched me in network marketing, 6 or 7 years ago was it's a pyramid scheme. It's you got to sell to your friends and family, right? Only the people at the top make the money. Like we could go on and on. I had a preconceived notion of an industry I didn't understand, of an industry I didn't know, and an industry that had evolved way beyond my perception of what was actually out there. So we're here tonight to unveil the myths and unveil the opportunity of an industry that has truly come of age because it's location independent, it's super flexible. The income is completely uncapped. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I know some of you on here are thinking, well, my friends think this is a pyramid. I even think this is a pyramid scheme. Maybe you're saying that to yourself. I don't. let's talk about this. Network marketing has an uncapped residual income. Now, in my corporate days as a corporate director, I was at the top of the pyramid where I had a band of pay grade. No one made, my boss always made more than me. My employees always made less than me. Didn't matter how hard they worked, they would never out earn me. And the same for my boss. He would always out earn me. I want you guys to think about that. This is the corporate pyramid, and you see this in the federal government as well. It's a hierarchy. And if you talk about the people who got in earlier, the ones who make money, and I'm just throwing out all the curveballs of the crap that I've heard, think about the federal government. I've got friends who work for the VA and are just doing their time so that they're the ones that get the best benefits, regardless of their performance. Guys, that is a pyramid. That is a pyramid. Here in network marketing, especially in our compensation model, which we'll talk about tonight, it doesn't matter when you come in. It's what we call a binary compensation model. Everybody has the same business model to build, no matter when you come in. It's an equal playing field to surpass anyone who came before or after you. So, having said that, why health and wellness? So we talked about network marketing, but why specifically health and wellness? I'm drilling you down from network marketing to health and wellness. I'm going to tell you it's a $500 billion industry. It is a global industry. That's something you want to look at when you're looking at a business model. We're in 18 countries right now. We'll be in over 100 in the next 2 to 3 decades. Okay, so we're in massive growth. We talk about timing. We're going to look at the numbers in just a minute. But the timing could never be better for people being health conscious, wanting to drive results. We'll talk about that tomorrow night if you want to come take a look. The last thing I want to hit on is the positive feedback loop. This is the positive feedback loop. I want to explain this for a minute because many of you are living in it. There's this, it's either positive or it's negative, and that is the number one cause of health problems in the United States can be directly tied ultimately to finances. People are driving themselves into their ground for their careers, for the money to make the month last, their money to last longer than the month. It's this vicious cycle that drives poor health because of the hustle, right? And so quite the contrary in the reverse. And what I love about this industry, and I call it the positive feedback loop, is that the first thing you do is get your health in check. Once you do that, you begin building a business that creates wealth, that ultimately creates time freedom, that gives you the space to take better care of yourself. When you look at people who walk away from their corporate jobs on our team, we've got over 40 people who've retired from their careers and are doing this full time. They glow. Of course they glow because of the nutrition, but they're also glowing because it's a positive feedback loop of more time freedom to do the things they love, which fills their soul. Okay. I want you to think about that. That's why I am in love with not only network marketing, but network marketing specifically in health and wellness. So why specifically Isagenix? Well, we talked about it, the health and wellness piece, and we talked about the global expansion. What I want to hit on is momentum. We did over 100% growth in sales last month. You want to be in a place where a company's in absolute vertical growth, join Isagenix. The results are driven by science, and we have elite mentorship and culture. Think about myself, Christine Manukyan, the person who invited you to this overview. Do you think highly of them, right? We have incredible leaders in this organization, as well as a bulletproof compensation model. Quick statistics on the company: 16 years in business, over 600,000, we're actually 18 years in business, 600,000 global customers. Right now we're in over 20 countries with an A+ Better Business Bureau and scaling to do over $1 billion in sales here in the next year. We are in massive growth. And this is just a growth chart for depiction of where we're headed. Extremely exciting when you think about the momentum. Got one or two more slides, and then I'm going to bring Christine into the fold. So I told you we're not going to talk a whole lot about product, but I am going to tell you what creates the Isagenix difference? What makes us unique? We are built on integrity and the vision to impact world health. We've done the studies, we do the research. That's why we are a company that's so heavy with healthcare providers, because we're going to do our research before we put these products in our body. And the reality is we have a massive platform for anyone. Whether you're coming in for weight loss, for performance, for vitality and well-being, we have an incredible personal beauty care line, skincare line. And the last thing I'll hit on here is just this, again, the science behind the results. The clinical studies that we've done head to head. If you want to do some research between now and tomorrow, go to isagenixhealth.net. Do your research. Look at the clinical studies. Nothing compares. Nothing. It doesn't. So with that, Christine, I want to bring you into the fold and again, formally introduce you. Now that I've kind of introduced the opportunity and drilled down to Isagenix, Dr. Christine Manukyan first came to Isagenix just about 5 years ago. And she obviously has been on an incredible journey. Christine, I would love for you to come in and just share with everybody a little bit about who is Christine, what's this journey been like for you, and what's exciting you about the future?
Wow, Melissa, this was amazing. And I'm just in awe of how many people are open for this opportunity. So first, I want to welcome everybody. We have over 85 people here on the line, and today is a very special, unique day. So I just want to say congratulations for making a difference in your life, for being here today and being open to learning something new, because you want to make a difference in your own life and you want to make a difference and make an impact in the world as well. So who am I? I am the real live Wonder Woman. If you're wondering what the heck I'm saying that, you can hop on my Instagram and Facebook page and that will give you an idea. But I am a mom of 2 adorable kiddos. You see my kids right here in the pictures. And I'm a clinical pharmacist by trade, but my true passion and purpose in life is to impact world health and help people get to their health and wellness goals without pharmaceuticals. And this has been a huge, huge mindset shift for me as a pharmacist for over like 15 years, because we did not learn anything about holistic health. We didn't learn anything about nutrition and how it can help you. I mean, food is medicine, but nobody's talking about that. So when I was introduced to Isagenix, I was desperate to change my life. I was looking for somebody to save my life, because my doctor told me if I continue the way I am, I will actually have a heart attack by the time I turn 40. And all she did was give me a prescription for Lipitor to lower my cholesterol and say, go and figure it out, come back in a year, well, let's look in your labs. I walked away and the prescription went straight to the trash. I did not receive the fact that I'm going to be a statistics, because I have kids that are looking forward for me growing with them and being the mom that they really want to be around. I came home, and this was actually Mother's Day weekend in 2015. I was bawling. I was miserable. I was extremely stressed out. I was extremely overweight. I was actually morbidly obese. And I just did not feel good. I just didn't feel good. And I was telling my husband, babe, it's Mother's Day Sunday. I should be excited to do stuff, but I just did not. Like, I had no interest to take care of myself. Because again, my stressful job, a very high paid job that looked amazing on the resume, was silently killing me. And I was just scrolling on Facebook and to wish Mother's Day to my friends. And I came across a dear friend of mine, Dr. Sadie Cox, who's on the line today. This girl was posting something that she was shopping with her mom. And I noticed the size of the dress that she was shopping for. And Sadie and I were about the same size. And I was like, girlfriend, like, what the hell? Like, why? How did you change your life? So I immediately messaged her. I said, Happy Mother's Day to your mom. We need to talk tomorrow. And May 11, 2015, I said yes to Isagenix. I did not care to how much it cost, because my life was more important and more valuable of how much money I was going to spend. I trusted her because, again, I know who she is. I've seen her journey transform. And I was just desperate. I was open for change. And I had no idea what to expect. she told me to take her before and after pictures. And here it is on the left. This was my first time, you guys, taking a picture in a sports bra. I was so embarrassed, like I might even start crying right now, to take a picture in my sports bra because I've never been so vulnerable, like to really put myself out there. And my daughter was just there with me because she wanted to support me. And she's only like 2.5 years old at that picture. And I looked at her eyes. I said, I'm not going to fail this. I'm going to make this work. Whatever it takes, I'm going to make this work. And fast forward, not only I lost over 100 pounds, but I became an athlete. I became a fitness professional at bodybuilding. Yes, these products work and they can transform your life. And not only that, but I also became the best version of myself, having that energy to be around my kids. And the picture you see on your right or left, I don't even know. It was just taken like 2 years ago in Nashville when I was one of the finalists as an Isabody finalist, which is an amazing community that we have in our Isagenix community. And this has been the best blessing to my family, not just for myself, but my entire family and friends. And I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to make an impact. And everybody needs to have this opportunity. And I wish I had this opportunity when I was in pharmacy school. I wish I had this opportunity when I was in residency, so I don't have to like be so stressed out and overworked and, suffer from insomnia and not being able to take care of myself. So I wish somebody had this opportunity for me sooner. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And now 5 years in, May 11 of 2015, and 5 years now, I decided to actually take this to a bigger level and actually launch my own functional medicine practice because I want to impact more people and educate more healthcare professionals that there is a better way, and to show people that, you know what, put these products in your body, have the extra income coming your way so you can pay off some debt that you have, and let this rewrite your story, like become 2.0. Like who doesn't want to do that? So I can talk on and on, but I just really want to validate everything you just said, Melissa. We all have this amazing jobs that we work so hard for, but at the end of the day, it comes to the point of like, what's next?
Absolutely. So I love a couple of things you said here, Christine, and obviously underscoring that it all starts with your own journey, right? And for some, it's weight loss. For some, it's overall health and wellness. It's performance, right? But I love the story and how far you've come and how much you've grown. One of the things that you underscore that I really want to highlight to the group, I even had a discussion about this on a podcast earlier today. The thing that really validates this industry and that I've just so fallen in love with is that it can create an income stream for you that you choose your time. So, you just said that many of you on the line love your professions, but you just wish you didn't have to work so many hours. You didn't have to see so many patients. You didn't have to work so many days. So you don't have to get into this to quit what you're doing, but you can get into this to create a secondary income stream to scale back what you're doing or play in the entrepreneurial space, right? Like, I think that Christine and I are a great example of pursuing this business, but then also having other businesses that you're doing as well. You don't, if you spend all your day, every day doing this business, you're doing something wrong, right? So, I've got my own private coaching business with LinkedIn. And the cool thing about that is when you create, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but when you create an income producing asset for yourself with this company, it gives you the freedom and time to build out and pursue whatever dreams you want. Actually, the next thing I want to do is become a yoga instructor. I want to become certified. That is not going to meet the needs of a multiple six-figure income to pay the mortgage on this house. Of course not. But luckily, I can pursue things that make me happy and not have to worry about them being so lucrative that they pay my bills because I have another asset that does that, right? And I know that for some people that just seems like a dream, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So Christine, I'm going to dive in a little bit to the compensation model, the business model, and then we're going to close out with really, your 2 cents on what you're doing with your practice and you know, what we discussed yesterday, just with kind of your vision and where you're headed with this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And do the yoga thing. I just became a Strong by Zumba fitness instructor.
I am, girl. As soon as
so just do it.
I know. I'm excited about it. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're on the line today, you've got an entrepreneurial spirit, or you wouldn't be here, right? But I don't know how many of you on the line would love to hear in the chat box have read any of Robert Kiyosaki's books, or really read about the difference between linear and leveraged income. For me, I'll be honest, I had a doctorate and I had no idea how leveraged or residual income worked. So if you don't understand it, that's okay. I remember when the woman who enrolled me on Isagenix asked me, does the idea of residual income interest you, when she first enrolled me? I had no idea what she was talking about. I was like, no. Yes, I do. I didn't realize it at the time. So let's talk about the difference between linear income and residual and leveraged income. So Robert Kiyosaki, who's one of my favorite authors, talks about cash flow. And there's two sides of cash flow. You're either on the left side or you're on the right side in the way that you earn income. I'm gonna jump to a conclusion that the majority of you who are on the line tonight spend a lot of time on this left side that I have up right now, which is the linear pay, where you're trading time for money, where you are the most important variable. Whether you're a pharmacist, a corporate professional, a massage therapist, a hairstylist, it doesn't matter. You could be an oral surgeon. It doesn't matter the amount of money you make. It's that you have to show up to get paid. That makes you an employee or self-employed. If you're the most important variable, you have to show up to make your money. That's 95% of the people and only 5% of the wealth in this country. Now, I want to cast a vision to you to the right side, which sounds like unicorns and rainbows, but I am here to attest that it's real. And that is the right side of the quadrant, and that is legacy income. This is willable income. This is an income where we can create leverage, and it's the money that you make while you sleep. It's the money that doesn't depend on you. It's the money where when I went to Maine with my kids and stayed on an island for a couple of weeks, I continued to get paid even though I didn't have internet access and I didn't work. It's the money I made for the 4 months that I was on maternity leave and got paid way more than my corporate job paid me. Each week showed up because I had built out that asset and I was being paid for life. So on the right-hand side of the quadrant, traditionally, Robert Kiyosaki speaks to the business owner who leverages employees, right? He speaks to the investor who invests their money. Most of you are thinking or have thought, well, I'm not gonna risk starting a business because I've seen the numbers on that. 9 out of 10 fail. Maybe you don't have the financial backup to invest in a business. Maybe you have a great idea, but you can't get the loan for it, right? Or think about the investor. Most of us didn't go to school to invest. Most of us don't have significant amount of money to invest, although that could change for you if you build an asset with Isagenix, because you can turn around and you can invest it. This is going to blow your mind, but you can take that one asset that was residual and reinvest it in another asset that's residual, right? But that's the typical investor, right? Here's the thing. That is 5% of the population, but 95% of the wealth. The key common variable is that you become the least important variable in your business, and it makes money over time, whether you show up or not. Now, in the next slide, what I'd like to do is just cast a vision to you guys on how Isagenix actually has linear income, and it also has leveraged income, that residual income. And so on the left-hand side of the quadrant, when you're first getting started, we have leverage, we have linear income as you're introducing people to the business, as you're introducing people to the products. Traditional sales model, we're going to give you a referral royalty bonus for inviting people into the organization. It's traditional sales, right? Now, as you build your business over time, you begin to fall over to the right-hand side, which is the residual and the leveraged piece. This is where you begin to profit share. This is when you can will your position to your loved ones because you've built out a network of mass consumption that's results oriented and it's consumable. So that whether I'm on the face of this planet or not, those products are going to continue to be reordered, and my family is going to continue to get a 6% profit share every single week that those products are shipped out virtually from that online health and wellness store that I created virtually, that's now shipping out globally to my network. Okay. This is residual because it pays over and over and over again, because it's consumed, and it's leveraged because you're not in business by yourself. You're in business with business partners. We have a lot of people doing a little bit of work, right? So this overview is a classic example of leverage. I have a lot of teammates, business partners, who are not on the line tonight, but they've invited 15, 20 people to come take a look. That's leverage. They're leveraging their teammates to do some of the work because we share the effort, right? So you might be asking yourself, okay, so how do I get started? How simple is it? It's as simple as opening up a wholesale account and go on and redirect, I guess I should say, redirect your spending. People always ask, well, how much does it cost to invest? How much does it cost to get into this business? Guys, my honest answer is it costs you nothing. If you eat, it's free. If you eat, you are redirecting spending to high quality nutrition and supplements that are going to drive a better version of you to begin with. And you go on that journey. So maybe we have a ton of products with phenomenal data, phenomenal results, high quality and purity that you can swap out. Like at CVS, there is no ROI on the probiotics that you get there. There's no return on investment on those essential oils you're getting from Whole Foods or you name the product. But when you redirect your spend to Isagenix, you begin to participate in the global growth of the company, and you begin to profit share, that 6% profit share. I want to cast a vision to you guys so you get some hard numbers. I've been with this organization for a little over 5 years. I've personally enrolled about 250 people to Isagenix in 5 years. When you look at my business, I have over 5,000 people in my organization consuming these products, okay? I'm getting a 6% profit share from the consumption of those products from a mass network of consumption, because people are sharing with people who are sharing with people, because it's a results-oriented product. I challenge you just to go 30 days with redirecting your spend and go on your own Isagenix journey and see if it doesn't impact you and your overall health. And so this just kind of shares with you, go on your own health and wellness journey, just like Christine did, just like I did, just like the Sadie Cox who's on the line who brought Christine in. It was a very noticeable difference in these people's health. And then ask yourself, who do I know that needs a health or wellness makeover, that needs a financial makeover, right? There's 40 million people without jobs right now. There's a lot of people. I can tell you, we brought in a lot of healthcare providers who've been furloughed and hours cut over the past couple of weeks. And we've been able to show them how to pave it forward, improve the health of their clients from their side businesses, and bring in $500 to $1,000 this week, because that's what they need to put groceries on the table, right? Who do you want to partner with? I think about Christine Manukyan, and I think about Sadie Cox, Sadie's one of my best friends. Christine has become one of my best friends. Who do you want to do business with? Who's great with people? Who's passionate about health? If you could free one of your best friends financially so you could both pick up and go to Fiji for 2 weeks because neither one of you had to be anywhere at any given time, who would it be? Who would it be? So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Christine. Christine, I'd love for you, you and I went back and forth a little bit yesterday about, your vision for moving forward with Isagenix, with your functional medicine practice. And so, you and I have taken different directions. I've grown an Isagenix business. It's an incredible asset, but I'm also doing some business coaching separate from Isagenix, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. Tell everybody your vision and why you're pursuing this business and what you foresee it's doing moving forward for you.
Thank you, Melissa. So it always goes back to my why. Like, why am I doing this? And my number one why is to help people to get healthy without pharmaceuticals. And that can be so broad. Yes, nutrition and fitness is going to play a role. However, I saw this opportunity with functional medicine, which is holistic health. If you guys don't know what functional medicine is, it's holistic health, which is the future of medicine. We are ahead of the curve. Like Isagenix has been doing intermittent fasting since day one. That's how our company was born. And now in 2020, people are just talking about intermittent fasting. Well, we've been doing that since 2002. So we're always ahead of the game, and we're always looking into improving people's health with nutrition and wellness. So it was no brainer for me to take this opportunity and say, well, I've been using this product. I've changed like hundreds and people's lives. So personally, I think about like 250 people have come to my organization that I've personally introduced this opportunity to, which grew to a team of 1,600, which is insane. And what can we do to use this model with health and wellness and use my pharmacist hat to make a difference in this world? So my heart and passion is, again, going back to holistic health and doing more of a preventative medicine, making sure people are not sick enough to go to a hospital with a heart attack or high blood pressure because they did not take care of themselves, or people going into coma because their diabetes is out of control. There's so much we can do to prevent that. So for me to use this product with my clients, it was no brainer because it is something that we can all do now. We all eat food. We just have to have that opportunity to teach them like what's the best thing for you. And while you're getting paid by doing that, I mean, this is, again, like I'm going to repeat myself. Like I wish I had this earlier, like in my earlier career, because we all love to share things that we love and enjoy. I mean, how many times we go to the, let's say a restaurant and we love something, we tell the world, like the restaurant does not send me a coupon saying, hey, next time you come back, like there's an appetizer on us. They don't. But in this industry, we get paid by helping people to get healthy. And for me as a healthcare professional, that's number one goal. Health and wellness is the number one priority. And as an entrepreneur, like why would I partner with another company to have their products that do not have a residual income attached to it? Because again, my clients, my customers are with me as a practitioner for 6 months. And after 6 months, like I'm not getting paid obviously for their services. However, they are going to continue eating Isagenix food because they are feeling amazing and they want to continue feeling amazing. And guess what? I'm still getting paid from Isagenix because I introduced this nutrition to their household. It's not additional spending, it's redirecting spending. And Melissa, you did an amazing job to demonstrate like how we can redirect our spending like to Isagenix nutrition. And this is, again, no brainer, especially if you're in healthcare. I think we all need to have healthy snacks we can go to, especially if you're a pharmacist and working in retail for like 10 hours standing with no time to eat. Having a shake or a bar in between your customers can be a game changer. Or as a matter of fact, turn it into a fasting day and do an intermittent fasting and let your body do magic. So I'm just blessed how this just kind of all turned into it, because again, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what this opportunity can be like. I had no idea about residual income. Like I was sharing on the chat, I had to Google it. I did not understand it.
Right.
And here living in Hollywood, like we hear about, movie stars making a movie, getting paid for the rest of their life. I just didn't understand like a normal person like me with no talent can do that.
Right.
But in this industry, we can, you guys. Like Melissa's saying, like she's making more money while she's on vacation. Well, that's reality. Like that's happening to all of us that are here to build this business. And just the truth, like, reality check. I had to cut my hours from a 40-hour full-time employee to like a 1 day a week or 2 days sometimes, because I have no childcare. When my kids were told they cannot go back to school, my husband and I, we looked at each other and said, what are we going to do? And the only way we could survive in this chaos is for me to tell my boss, like, I can only work the weekends because that's when my husband is home. So my income has been cut like dramatically as well since March. But that didn't stop me building my business with Isagenix, which has been growing during this pandemic because everybody wants to have nutrition delivered to their door. and everybody's looking for additional income.
Yes.
That is why I use this time to launch my practice during, this pandemic, because there's no better time. People need me more than ever. People need all of us more than ever. So be bold, go first, because if Melissa didn't go first, I would not have that vision that I can also tell my boss I'm retiring because I'm turning 40 this year, and that is my plan. So thank you, Melissa, for going first, because you are showing all of us what's possible, because if it wasn't for you, I don't know if I'll have the guts to pursue this as a business opportunity. And that's life. You just, you don't have the belief till you see somebody that you know and love and respect is doing it. And you say, hey, why not me? I can totally rock that too. So,
oh my gosh.
and I know you all too.
I love everything that you have to say about this. And I think that the thing that I just want to underscore that you just mentioned is that, you pursued this business because people that you knew and trusted were being successful in this business. And so some of you guys follow me on LinkedIn and you follow my team on LinkedIn, and it's probably created a lot of curiosity because you're like, what are all these professionals doing promoting this? Like, what is this? And to your point, this is a legitimate business opportunity. There is a huge opportunity for financial gains here. And we know how much it's changing our lives. I know how much it's changed the lives of the people who've gone before me. And so I know you and I both, and many people, the people who've invited a lot of the folks onto the line tonight, feel very passionate about the legitimacy of this business and the professionalism and polish that this company and this team has, and the opportunity at hand to hold the hands of the professionals that we know, walk them through this process to build an income producing asset so that at the end of the day, you at least have choice. That at least at the end of the day, if you're told your hours have to be cut, or at the end of the day, over the next 18 months, we're going to go through some ridiculous economic despair. It's undoubtedly. And why not now, like you said, in the pause, take the time to invest in yourself, take a look at the opportunity, and begin making that plan B. I'll land on, I've got this last slide right here that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, it doesn't say it. I thought it did. Where I just wanted to say one of my favorite things about this business, and the fact that we have so many people on the line right now, is that your choices today are your circumstances tomorrow. So your choices and your actions today are your circumstances tomorrow. So what are you going to do today so that you have options and you have choice tomorrow? Like Christine, who says, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to build a functional medicine practice. I'm done with this. I've got this virtual online thing that I can do from home. I'm out. Or like me, 2 years ago, when I came home with my new baby, and my corporate job was telling me, we need you to come interview for this job if you want to keep it, because the client's purchasing you. Like, they're purchasing our consulting group, and you've got to show up even though your baby's 2 weeks old. I had choice. The only reason I had choice, and the only reason I was in control of that circumstance, was because of the decisions I made the years before to build the asset over time to create the freedom for the life that I wanted to live. So with that, I just want to kind of round out and just say, if not now, when, right? When? There's never been a better time. Christine, I really thank you for jumping on and being our guest tonight, guest speaker, and really inspiring people for what you can do with this business. If you guys have questions, please circle back to the person that introduced you to this tonight. Next week, we have Murray Miller, who totally different scenario. We've got a male business owner who sold his 2 businesses, bricks and mortar, to pursue this business. He's a millionaire in our industry. So if you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not in healthcare, these women are in healthcare, or you're like, oh, I'm not a corporate professional. Guys, you don't have to be. I want you to hear from Murray next week. If you've got to come back next week to hear from someone else who's not in our shoes, come back. But we encourage you to run with us while we're running. Put your running shoes on and join us. So thank you and have a good evening.
Thanks, everyone.